It happened on an ordinary Friday night, the kind of evening where laughter echoed louder than the clinking glasses. My wife Amber had invited a few friends over for dinner, including my best friend Ryan. We'd known each other since college, brothers in every way but blood. He'd been there through every milestone. My wedding, my first promotion, even the birth of our son. I trusted him like family. Amber and Ryan always got along, maybe a little too well sometimes, but I'd never thought much of it. She was outgoing, always joking, always craving attention. Ryan matched her energy, teasing and bantering in ways that made others laugh. It felt harmless until that night. The table was full. Amber poured another round of wine, her cheeks flushed from laughter. "Remember our trip to the lake house?" she said, grinning at Ryan. "You couldn't handle my cooking back then either." Ryan laughed. "That's because you burned everything you touched." Everyone chuckled. I smiled, watching them exchange their usual playful barbs. But then Amber, emboldened by the wine, smirked and said, "Oh, please, Ryan. You didn't complain when you tasted me back then." The room fell silent. For a second I thought I'd misheard. My heart thudded in my chest as her words hung in the air, heavy and sharp. Ryan froze, his expression shifting from amusement to sheer panic. The others looked at each other, unsure whether to laugh or look away. "What did you just say?" I asked quietly. My voice didn't sound like mine, calm, flat, but trembling beneath the surface. Amber blinked, realizing what she'd said. "Oh my God, I was joking. I didn't mean. It's not what it sounded like." Ryan jumped in, stammering, "Dude, she's just messing around. You know how she jokes." But I wasn't listening. Every sound in the room blurred. The clinking of glasses, the forced laughter, the awkward shifting in seats. I just stared at them, at the way Amber's hand trembled as she set down her glass. "A joke," she said. "But jokes come from somewhere, from thoughts, from memories, from truths disguised as humor." I excused myself quietly, walked into the kitchen, and stood there gripping the counter, breathing hard. My mind replayed the words over and over. "You didn't complain when you tasted me." And just like that, a decade of friendship and maybe my marriage cracked open with one careless sentence. I stayed in the kitchen for several minutes, trying to steady my shaking hands. The laughter and chatter from the dining room seemed distant now, like it belonged to another world. I couldn't focus, couldn't process what I had just heard. How could Amber say something like that about Ryan, my best friend? The thought alone made my stomach turn. I heard the soft click of the kitchen door opening and turned slightly. Amber stepped in, her face pale, her eyes wide with panic. "Mark, I didn't mean it. It was just a stupid joke, okay? Please don't overreact." I didn't say anything at first. I just looked at her. Really looked at her. I saw the flush in her cheeks, the tremble of her fingers, the forced nervous smile. But I also saw the truth that she hadn't said out loud yet, that maybe this joke had roots deeper than a drunken quip. "Amber," I said slowly, my voice low and steady, "you don't get to just call that a joke. Not with those words. Not about him and not about us." She swallowed hard. "I didn't mean it, Mark. I swear. I was just being silly." "Funny," I muttered. "Because it doesn't feel silly to me. Feels like a line was crossed. A line you've always known not to touch." Amber's eyes welled with tears and she stepped closer. "Please just calm down. Let's not make this a big deal in front of everyone." I shook my head. "No, it is a big deal. It's not about them. It's about you. About what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Because that sentence, it tells me everything I need to know." She flinched as if struck, looking down at her hands. I could hear her heartbeat quicken, feel the tension radiating from her. "Mark, I didn't. I interrupted her, my voice rising slightly. "No, I don't want excuses. I don't want jokes. I want honesty. Did you ever think about him that way?" The room went silent. Even the sound from the dining area seemed muted. She opened her mouth, then closed it. The tears ran freely down her cheeks. I don't know. I was confused. I didn't mean to. It was just stupid." I stepped back, trying to process the chaos of emotions flooding through me. Betrayal didn't always come in obvious acts. Sometimes it came in words, in jokes, in subtle admissions that sliced deeper than anything physical ever could. The night felt heavier now. The laughter outside had stopped, replaced by a suffocating tension. I realized that our relationship, the trust one had in both Amber and Ryan, might have shifted irreversibly in a matter of seconds. I stepped into the living room slowly, feeling every eye on me. Amber followed, her steps hesitant, like she was walking on fragile glass. The guests had noticed the sudden quiet, the change in energy, but no one spoke. The air was thick with unspoken questions. I turned to Ryan first. His face was pale, guilt written clearly across it. "Dude," he started, but I held up a hand. "Don't. Not a word." Then I looked at Amber. "You need to understand something," I said, my voice steady but cold. "Words have power. And when you joke about something like that, about him, about us, about loyalty, you cross a line. And there's no taking it back." Amber shook her head quickly. "Mark, I swear it was a joke. I didn't mean anything. Please don't ruin everything over a stupid comment." I exhaled slowly, trying to steady the whirlwind of emotions inside me. "A joke," she said. "A joke. But a joke is only funny if it doesn't hurt someone. If it doesn't betray trust. You betrayed both, Amber. Not accidentally. With that sentence, you revealed what's been hidden." The guests, sensing the tension, had started to quietly gather their belongings. Amber's friends exchanged nervous glances, unsure whether to intervene. I didn't care. This wasn't for them. This was for me, and for the truth I had just uncovered. Amber's voice trembled. I didn't. You think I haven't noticed? The glances, the whispers, the extra attention you give him? It's all clear now, I said. My heart ached, not from anger but from disbelief. How could someone you trusted so completely reduce your life, your marriage, to a careless joke? Ryan stepped back, eyes on the floor, silent, knowing he couldn't say anything to fix this. I turned to Amber one last time. You need to figure out what this means for you. And for us. Because trust isn't something that comes back with an apology. It's earned step by step. And right now it's gone. She slumped into a chair, tears streaming down her face. Mark, I never. Save it, I said. I need space. We'll talk later. Alone. And when we do, I expect the truth, not jokes, not excuses. The truth. I left the room quietly, heading to the backyard. The night was still warm, but nothing felt familiar anymore. Everything had shifted in the span of a single sentence, a single moment. The woman I loved, the friend I trusted. Everything had changed. And for the first time in years, I realized that betrayal didn't always have to be physical. Sometimes it came dressed as a joke, and that joke had the power to break you completely. The end.